check-in. This one I'm hopefully going to be a little bit shorter if I don't start babbling on, which I'm, how I do. But so the check-in for the GLP-1 weight loss drugs, I am just switched providers because I like I said, it's really helpful. These Facebook groups are a great resource of information, as long as you can filter out anybody that might be a scammer or just trying to promote something. So I said, like, the admin of the one group that I've been using is vetting providers and then providing an affiliate link. So she's making some money off of people going there. And because the money that you get, I think in most cases, is off of your own medication. Like if I gave you my affiliate code, you'd get $50 off your first and I'd get $50 off my next one. And so I don't know how she's doing multiple ones. So I'm a little, but the information, like most of the posts are genuine people either posting how happy they are and showing like before and after pictures, which is really uplifting and good to see. And other people talking about, for the most part, how do you deal with constipation or nausea? Because those are like the two main symptoms that you get. But because I'm paying out of pocket, I decided to do some research about cheaper ones, but then trying to figure out what's reliable. So Reddit is another source of information. So I actually just Googled, and then a bunch of Reddit forums came up about these specific providers. So one of the ones that she recommended, I kind of went to the website, but then, and this is a bit tricky because they're not as transparent with the pricing up front. It's like you got to kind of sign up before you get the pricing. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I want to know exactly what I'm paying for. And they want your credit card detail. So it's like, no. So I found one, Orderly Meds. And then it's funny because then when I posted in the group about how they found, I said the admin may take this off because we're not supposed to talk about specific providers because she vets them. But people were talking about their prices and she let those all go. But then she posted herself about Orderly Meds, not knowing that was the one I was considering. But I'd already signed up, so I didn't use her affiliate link. So she wanted to know how it goes for me. So far, so good. There were, in the Reddit, I saw that there was some delays because these drugs are getting so popular now that there's issues with supply. So it had said that it may take 8 to 10 days, but I had one more shot left, I think, on my other one. So I only ended up being a day delayed. I can get back on track next time. So my dose had gone up. And so I'm up at the higher end of the dosages that you would do more long term. So I'm interested to see about any more progress. So I'm at 164. I think that's where I was a week ago. So I stayed steady. I think 164. So I'm still happy enough that I'm staying down. I went up a little and then down. I'm not weighing myself every day. Some weight loss, trainers and people say that you should weigh yourself every day. Like Noom said that too. I don't want to be obsessed with it because there's going to be normal fluctuations through water retention, something you may have eaten, one day. I really am more interested in like a weekly target, than a daily target, even though they say it's good to weigh yourself every day. Maybe it's just to keep it in mind. I did have a bit of heartburn after taking this one, because it's a different provider and it traveled further to get to me. Like they have to be kept at a lower temperature, so they come in ice packs. So like that, the ice pack was nearly melted by the time I got it because it was sitting out in the sun on my front porch till I got home. So I took it on Thursday night. I felt a little right here, you know, like there's a gas bubble that needs to go up or down or something. So I was a little off. Didn't eat right though too. So, cause I felt a little off. So, it is important to eat, you know, like I do the low FODMAPs, try to stick to that as much as possible. Anything else only in very small quantities. But I've been happy only eating smaller quantities. Like I used to have 2 eggs in the morning with spinach and a slice of sourdough, and I don't ever finish that now. So I was doing 1 egg, but 1 egg wasn't enough. Too bad I can't do 1.5 eggs. But I end up throwing away a bit, like I said, throwing away food a lot. Or keeping leftovers when possible. So I forget what I had. One day I made it like one meal ended up lasting me 3 days. Like, so that's good. But I feel like I'm getting enough energy and enough nutrients and everything. And I'm watching the nutrients, I'm watching the fiber, and the calcium and, the protein and all that. So, I'm feeling good, apart from a little bit of there sometimes. So, but it's just, yeah, I went up a dose. So I'm not sure if it's going up a dose or if it's switching providers, because, you know, the formulation might be slightly different. And also, some people, when they were talking about where to inject, so you can either inject it into your belly, your thigh, the front or side of your thigh, or the back of your arm. Now, for me, it'd be too hard to do the back of my arm myself. My belly, I got a lot of belly there. I've talked about this before, I know, but and then the thigh, I thought was too visible. Like when I'm wearing my shorts for dance fitness, like they ride up, so it looks like I'm like wearing like a bathing suit bottom sometimes. So because I sometimes get a black and blue where I inject, like I have a black and blue on the top of my thigh. So some people were saying that they thought they had enough people said this in the forum, the Facebook group, that when they switched to injecting from their belly, when they switched to the thigh, that they had less side effects. So I tried that, and last week I didn't have any side effects, I don't think. This week I tried my other thigh, and I had side effects. So I don't know if if that really does help or not. I talked to someone I know really well that injects insulin quite frequently, and they said they didn't think it would make any difference. So there's all those kind of, you know, little things that you kind of figure out for yourself, but it's always good to check in the groups or do some Google searches. But again, it's finding people that seem reliable and real, not fake accounts. You can kind of tell from the tone of things, but I'm just not sure about the admin of that Facebook group. And I can't post in the group because she'd see that. She'd probably boot me out of the group. So, you know, there are resources, but I'm trying to be one myself just because I hadn't found many. So I'm looking forward to now. My next kind of goal is to get into the 150s, and that would be really nice because I've not been there in a long time. I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm looking pretty good. I had my hair, I'm doing the turn up challenge, and they do Girls Gone Wild Wednesdays. So one Wednesday I pledged I was going to finally try to dye my hair pink. And it was pink for a couple of days, and then it kind of faded. Like you can still see a little bit of it, like maybe especially if I put it into. No, you still can't, right? But the bleached bits look kind of cute. I've texted my hairstylist to see, like, is it the sun? Did the sun? Because it's a lot more bleached out since I was sitting in the sun for a couple of days last week. So my weight loss check-in and my hairstyle check-in. So I don't know. I kind of like the bleach bits, but I'm going to wait and see what he says. I might just buy some and do a little bit more pink again myself and see how it goes. So the main topic I wanted to talk about this week is getting clarity on what you want. So I've mentioned this several times, but I wanted just this week for us to think about why that's important. Do you feel that you have clarity about what you want? why it's important. I just said that. And I'm not using notes today. How to get it. So why it's important. So like I mentioned it several times. So last week I talked about advocating for yourself. So it's important to have clarity of what you want so that you can clearly communicate to other people what it is that you want or why they need to stop doing what they're doing because you want something else, right? So having clarity on what you want will make that 100% easier. The other thing is to get where you want, right? So if you don't have clarity, you can't work toward it. So I'm going to go back and tell you a bit about myself, and that up until recently, I had very little clarity about what I wanted at all. I just kind of went. I kind of wanted whatever I could get, right? I wanted to do everything. I wanted, it was just like an opportunity came up, I'd go for it. And it worked for me in many ways. So sometimes I look back, like I don't have any regrets. I'd never look back and regret. I feel everything happened for a reason. I don't have regrets because that is unhealthy thinking. Everything happens for a reason. You learn from mistakes or other things that happened, other things I needed to do something else so that I could do what I'm doing now type of thing. So I don't look back with regret, but I do see the benefit of having more clarity with what I want. And I think it would have been better for my mental health over the years too, because when you're just going for everything, that's a hell of a lot of pressure. So I tried lots of different things, and I always felt like, what did they say? I'm okay at a lot of things, but I'm not amazing at any of them. Like I tried lots of different sports. I like lots of different kinds of music. I am interested in so many different things, which is a benefit to have that, but to be more clear, focused on things. So once I got more focus, I was able to better move towards the goals that I wanted and have a lot of the things that I want to have now. My business, my career, my home, the social life that I want to have came through having more clarity of what I wanted and what I needed and who I wanted to be. So that's why it's important, right? So you can advocate for yourself, so you can have a clearer path to where you want to go and how to get there. So I talked a little bit on getting clarity about what you want in the other posts, but I wanted to get a bit more deeper dive. And I'm probably going to do a webinar on this. So if you're interested, I'm going to start it, and that's going to be kind of the kickoff of the lead up to the launch of Raising Your Voice. So Raising Your Voice is going to start in probably October, in the autumn. And I'm having a free webinar and some emails leading up, so sort of through the summer, for things to think about to get prepared. So the first one is going to be about getting clarity on what you want. So sign up for the Raising Your Voice wait list, and you'll find out about when that webinar is going to come. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it right now. So I've talked a lot about core values. So your core values are important to help guide you into what it is you really want, because you may not have clarity for yourself, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why some people lack clarity. They don't take the time, or they're worried about everybody else and not worried about themselves. So remember the analogy about the face mask, the oxygen mask when you're on a plane. Fix yours first before you help others. And like Oprah's talking a lot about this now too, about trauma that we've been carrying from past history. And it's like, instead of trying to fix your daughter, your children's traumas, fix your own first. So find out what you want and need first, and then look to the others in your life. But to get started is look at what are your core values. So I have found that, like, with my main core value being authenticity, in my work, there's a lot of things that I just found very difficult. And it's because I was trying to do what I thought I should do, not what I authentically wanted to do or kind of knew that I should do inherently. So now when I feel that resistance, I switch to authenticity and think, wait, is this really what I want to do? And that's opened the path for me to then move on to do more writing and do more work the way that I want to do it. And with the people that I want to work with too. It's important. So, but for me, it's authenticity. Everyone's, yours will be different. And so I told you about how I started learning about core values and the importance of identifying like at least 3 of your main core values through the one thing. So that's a book that I read about 8 years ago. And then around the time I moved to the States, I joined like their online community. And one of my friends said, that sounds like a cult, like that cult that you belong to. And it's not, it's just a good group, accountability group of people. The co-writer of the book is quite involved, Jay Papasan. The book was written by Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams Real Estate, and Jay Papasan, who kind of worked for Gary Keller, and he was a writer. So he helped Gary write a lot of the books that Gary has written. So you'll see Jay is a co-author of a lot of Gary's books. But Jay is a great guy. And Jay and his wife, Wendy, a few years ago actually it might be longer than that. So early on in their marriage, they found that if they sat down and identified their own core values, right, and what they wanted and needed out of life, and then sat down. So they took a weekend every year and they sat down and they did a goal setting retreat. So their own little couples goal setting retreat. And that they found helped them better move toward what they wanted out of life. So they looked at what each of them wanted and then looked together how they can work together towards helping each other and reaching their overall family goals. So then the One Thing community started holding a couples goal setting retreat. Actually, the year before I moved, I'm still married, but we were not in a position to come to the U.S. to do this goal setting retreat. And I often say, if we had, we might still be married. But so I've since gone. So they stopped calling it the couples goal setting retreat because I'm like, I'm not a couple anymore. So they started just calling it the goal setting retreat. But I went to a couple in person, and I did during COVID, they had virtual. So the first one I did was virtual, and then I went to 2 in-person ones. And it's just a great community. And but you go through, and it is very much set up for couples, and there's a lot of couples there. And I loved seeing how they worked together and would work out issues through this. My cat's scratching me. But also I was able on my own, and I'm very outspoken when I go to these things because I'm like, I'm spending a lot of money to be here. I'm going to get the most out of it. So, setting goals and working out how to get to those goals. So in the workbook for it, they had a list of all the possible values, core values that you might pick. So you go through them all, and I actually have a deck. I don't have it next to me like I usually do. I could put a picture of it in the post about this. Each card with a value on it. So it's kind of like a little game that you do, but I had worked out authenticity. Integrity was one, because for me, honesty, doing the right thing is very important. But after a couple of years, I dropped integrity because they had us do an exercise where we looked at what we had said we wanted to do last year and what kept us from doing it. And I found that I was too hung up on what was the right thing that it was actually keeping me from getting to where I wanted to go. So while I feel that I still live and work with integrity as an important goal, I'm not going to get hung up, because what's the right thing to me may not be the right thing for everyone. So I feel that through my authenticity, I am working in the right direction, and I'm not worried that I'm not going to do the right thing. But I did find that just trying too hard, and other people in my life, I felt caused issues because they were so set on what they thought was the right thing. And and myself too, I did find that I'd get too hung up on that it would actually stall me from what I wanted to do. So, integrity went down the list. Wholeheartedness, for me, that is very, very important. That when I'm involved in something, I give my all. I give my all. I can't help it. I'm 100% in when I do stuff. So I need to be more careful about what I do get involved in. So because I'm exposed, right? But I give it my all. It's been a great benefit for me in so many ways. I do get taken advantage of, and I'm learning now to have more boundaries, so that if I'm giving my all and giving my wholehearted self, I'm going to be appreciated. So that's, so having boundaries goes along with some of these things. And then for my third core value, I kind of bounced around a little. Because it's hard. Like, family is really important to me, like my children, but they're getting older. They're living their own lives a lot of the time. So I didn't know if that should be one of my three, but fulfillment. So self-fulfillment, I think, was one of the cards. And I thought, well, fulfillment, because but see, they also talk about what is a current top core value and what is an aspirational core value, right? So is that not really one of the things that I'm really striving for right now? Or is that something I'm working for down the line? So fulfillment, but I think just being fulfilled, and fulfillment can mean so many things, but I was thinking that, like, I need to, and maybe this helps align with the authenticity, that the work I do needs to be fulfilling. But I was also looking at my work and just my life and my interactions with other people is helping them to be fulfilled as well. So my third core value, so maybe I do need to work on that more to have more clarity with that. So other things that you need to do to determine, like, to have clarity with what you want and need. So it's that, having those, giving yourself time and to think. So I know with a lot of you've got your families, you've got your work, you've got parents to take care of, or children to take care. It's like lots of demands on your time. But unless you really do clearly define this now, and this could be on any scale in your life. So you may want to, like, things I've done. I've moved country. I've gone for better jobs. I've started my own business. Like, these are like large scale type things that I decided that I wanted and needed. But it could also be on a smaller level. It could just be you want more time for yourself. It could be you want to read a book. What do I need? I need more intellectual stimulation. I need more to lose a little weight. I need to learn how to play pickleball. I need more friends. I need, it could be at any scale, because it's the little things too that build up and can, like, drag you down. And for me, is I'm going to cry. The saddest thing, and it's not about me, it's about other people. The saddest thing is somebody that thinks that they can't get the things that they want, and they stop thinking about them. That they have no dreams. right? And I've known a lot of people like this. I mean, my mother, and maybe that's why this is affecting me, right? She kind of gave up through, choices she made in her life. She ended up in a bad financial situation with 5 children, failing health, not a hell of a lot of support. So, and again, I look back, no regrets. I am who I am because of all of this, and it all does make you stronger. But if you are feeling that, like hopefully, and the ideal is that we're all just like, we're just so happy with our lives. We're doing just what we want to do. Maybe it's my craziness that I always feel like there's always something more. But it can be more peace. It doesn't have to be more busyness or more money or a higher level job. It can just be, I want more peace and contentment. I want more friends. I want more fun time. I want to sleep better at night. I want more energy. I think you can just be content, but how many people do you meet are 100% content with their life? Have you ever met anyone that was 100% content with their life? Is that a possibility? Like, things are always changing too. My thing, I feel like I'm fairly resilient, but I always feel like I could always be more resilient. Like when COVID hit, in the early days when it was just starting to close down, and you were hearing things about, we're going to run out of gas. You got to run out and get gas. You got to run out and buy up, bulk toilet paper, right? And it was just my daughter and myself. And I was like, can I keep us alive? Can I keep us safe? So you just don't know what's ahead. But by building the practice of getting clarity with what you want and need, and checking in on yourself regularly to make sure that you know this, that it hasn't changed, and that you're able to work towards that under any circumstances, is just going to make you more content, more peaceful in your life. So it's not always about just being busy and crazy busy, because that was my problem, that I always thought that was it. I lived in New York, I lived in London. I was always crazy busy, and I guess I am still a little bit crazy busy. But so one of my things is like more serenity, more serene moments. I'll get there. And I want you to help me. So, and I feel like I get more fulfillment by helping other people come along with me in this journey. So please come along with me in this journey. Email me, tell me what you're thinking about all this. Are you a bit blocked with any of this? Do you want a list of core values? Do you want to do this workshop with me? Do you want to raise your voice? So I'm going to put a link in the post to join the wait list of Raising Your Voice. And then we'll be doing our free webinar on getting clarity with what you want and need. We'll get a bit more in depth with this. We'll work together on this, and it's going to be a safe, supportive group of like-minded women. And that is my goal, to bring us together, to work together, to have like-minded people, to work together on reaching our goals and having fulfillment, my potential third top core value. So thank you for listening. Please email me and let me know how you're finding these, and if there's any other way that I could be helpful. How are you doing? And I'll talk to you next time.